Alrighty, let's make some lasagna soup. Lasagna soup. We're gonna need one onion, baseball size. Bigger if you've got it, smaller if you don't. Carrots, I'm just using a handful of the baby carrots because that's all I have. 3 or 4 stalks of celery. Mushrooms, I'm using shiitake mushrooms today because that's all I got. But you can use the buttons, the baby bellas, or even a big bella and just chop it up. Or don't use mushrooms. Garlic, I'm a firm believer there's no such thing as too much garlic, so I'll be using a lot of garlic, but if you don't like that, don't do it. I'm gonna be using homemade veggie stock today, but you can use the stuff you get at the store. This is just a 1 quart, I guess. This whole container is 40 calories. Probably need 2 of these. Gonna use 2 packs of the 500 soup. If you want the soup to be thicker soup, you can actually use 3 or 4. But this will make, a lot of soup. And you're not gonna eat this all in one sitting, at least I hope not. And I'm back. So, keeping the math simple, this is 1 cup of celery diced, carrots 1 cup, mushrooms roughly a cup. That baseball size onion made about 1.5 cups, 2 cups. I used 7 cloves of garlic, but again, I like a lot of garlic. If you don't like as much garlic as I do, don't use as much as I do. I did forget 2 things earlier. We will be using Italian seasoning. I say we, I mean me, and Italian crushed tomatoes. Crushed or diced. Diced is actually really good. And usually I just use a smaller can. This is what I had. So 1 of the 14-ounce cans is perfect. I won't be using this whole thing, but if you want to, you can. It's yours. Do what you want. I'm gonna get all this stuff ready, set the camera up, and get ready for the other side. All right, so we got a pan over high heat right now. It's getting rather warm. I'm gonna give it a couple of spritzes with the avocado oil spray. This is what I use. Here's the back of it for you. So, 1/4 seconds, 0 calories. Anyway, so we do this, and then we'll start putting stuff in. There. You don't know how badly I'd like to use a lot more than that. All right, onions. Let's start with onions. And I'll go ahead and drop the temperature some. Now the pan is hot. Probably down to like medium high, something like that. A spoon. And we'll keep stirring these around and mixing them up and let them go. Until they soften a little bit and a little bit translucent. I'll do that. Okay, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes. And soften up a little bit, a lot lighter in color. So I'm gonna add in the mushrooms and the carrots and the celery, not the garlic. Garlic will be absolutely last. That one's on the floor. If nobody's watching, you can pick it up and do it. So this camera's going, I can't do that. A good stir. And again, the heat should be somewhere around medium. You want to keep hearing that little sizzle, but you don't want to hear, the fire alarm go off. If you find that it's starting to burn and stick to the bottom, you can add a little bit of your broth to it. All you're trying to do right now is soften everything a little bit. But you don't want to add too much liquid because you still want to like saute the garlic. Right, I'd say give that about another 5 minutes. I'll be back. I'll let you know. All right, it's been about 4 minutes or so. I'm gonna add in the garlic. Right now the vegetables are still a little crunchy, but they're a lot softer than they were. And I'm mixing the garlic, not for long, before we start adding other stuff. Don't want to burn the garlic, we just want to be able to smell the garlic. Once you start getting that good sniff of whiff of garlic, then it's time to move on. Again, the temperature is still around medium. Maybe closer to medium. Don't let it sit too long. You want to make sure nothing sticks to the bottom. Okay. I'll let that go for about a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so while this stuff is going on in the pot, I have 2 cups of the stock that I'm using. I microwaved it for about a minute. And I'm going to add the soup to it. I get asked about the color of my stock from time to time, because most of the times when you buy it, it's a clear liquid. I add tomatoes to mine, so that's why it's red. But I'm going to add 2 packs of this stuff, and I'm going to whisk the daylights out of it. I'm trying to do it as quickly as I can to get rid of any lumps that might form, because those lumps suck. Little islands of dry stuff floating around in the soup. Other sides. Long stuff. Alright, so now we're going to swing back over here, see if I can do this without dropping anything. Let's see this one. Alright, so I'll let this go too long here. Just made a mess. There we go. Put the mushroom back in there. Get back in there. Get back in there. Alright, so now Italian seasoning. Or whatever you want to put in there. I have no idea how much this is. Probably a couple teaspoons. Probably more than I should have put in there. I've not added any salt to this at all. I know a lot of people can't do that. And the soup mix has a lot of sodium already in it, and so does the lasagna entree. So I'll get that in there just for a couple seconds. And then it's time to add it. Stop making a mess. So I have 1 quart of my stock. So that's roughly 4 cups. Turn the heat all the way up again. Trying to bring this up to a boil. I'm going to add half this can, but if it was a little can, I'd add the whole one. This is the tomatoes. I gotta clean it up later. And then the other extra 2 cups. And this is going to be a full pot, small pot, saucepan, whatever you want to call it. Just stir it a little bit to combine. Don't make a mess like I do. And we're going to bring that up to a boil and drop it to low as soon as it starts to boil. See that? Right, it's starting to bubble along the sides. Starting to get a little bit. Again, trying not to, get it all over the stove, which then it cooks to the stove, and then you gotta clean the stove. All right, so that looks pretty good. So what we're gonna do now is turn this into lasagna soup. Right now it's just a tomato veggie soup. Let's see if we can do this without breaking anything. So, take one of these. Not even gonna cook it, just gonna open it up. Take a knife and run it down several cuts, just go down the line, then go across. However big you want your pieces to be. Do that one. Oh, that's for me. That's good. Same thing. Just cut it up. Oop. Okay. Clean the fingers off. Let's turn back around. I'm gonna turn the temperature down a little bit. And just add. Now, like I said, I'm using a smaller pot today because I have a different pot, but it's in use, and I didn't want to use a ridiculously big one. So, I'm at my limit for this one. I did not use a full 2 quarts of liquid because of this pan. So, use whatever you have. And whatever you don't use, you can use for leftovers. When you go to reheat leftovers, you can add a little bit more of the stock to it, because the pasta will actually continue to soak up some liquid. I have to be careful here. Right. Now I'm gonna wait for those bubbles to start coming back, and then I'm gonna drop my temperature to low and just let it simmer for about 20 minutes. I'll be back. All right, it just started bubbling again. And again, I'm really close to the top of mine, so I don't want to bubble much. I'm gonna turn the temperature all the way down to low. So it's just a simmering. Like I just want like a bubble to pop up every couple of seconds and just go glug glug, kind of thing. And I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes. This is what I was talking about letting it slowly simmer, not boiling, just, bubble, bubble, bubble. There you go. Stir it every once in a while. That's it. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. I've stirred it. The temperature is as low as I can get it to go, but that's a good looking soup. It smells really good. The whole house does. My wife actually just came downstairs from her office and said, "Hey, house smells good." It does. So you get one of these fangled machine things here, and one of these vessels. And you put a little in there. Now, if you wanted to add spinach, you can add spinach and let it go for about another 5 minutes, and it'll all wilt down and be really, really, really good. I decided not to do that because of my limited space. But there you go. It's, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. As it sits in this pot right here, it's 4 servings of vegetables, 2 entrees, and 2 soups, which is 2 shakes. Obviously, I'm not going to eat all this in one sitting. I'll have some for dinner tonight, and then I'll have some more tomorrow. This lasts a few days. If you put it in a container, it'll last a few days in the fridge. Or if you freeze it, it'll last, 50, 60 years. Yeah, let's see if I can do this. But yeah, it's really good. It's one of my favorite soups to make. There you go. That's it. See you later. Ta-da! This is what we have. Just a nice nom 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 lasagna soup. Works out really well for me.